Other parts of the country, their topsoil is decreasing by feet. We're hoping to increase it. This just adds right to it. Just fits the whole program. Soil health, gut health. And then we have something to pass on to our children and grandchildren when it's all said and done. And that's the critical part. Yeah, Rick Neiman out of Hulett, Wyoming, close to Devil's Tower. We're running about almost 200 cow-calf operation, and we keep our heifers over every year, so 80 to 90 of those every year. Then I bring in about 500 yearlings every year. If you have healthy soil, everything else falls in line. These girls are healthy, but it's got to start right there. Other parts of the country, their topsoil is decreasing by feet. We're hoping to increase it. We no-till, so we don't disturb the soil, don't release the carbons. So top down, that means leaving some. This just adds right to it. Just fits the whole program. You know, I've been using product about 10 years now. I'd seen an ad in the paper, just intrigued me, so I tried it and I noticed a lot of improvement. We have 200 yearlings right within 20 yards of us right now. You can't see them in the camera, but they're just settled down. Nothing looks hungry. They're just sitting there chewing their cud. You know, they're not pushing fences. They're quiet, they're content. We feed a lot of grass and we graze as much as we can. We're 26 to 28 pounds average on our cows all winter long. We only cake when it doesn't hit 20 degrees in a given day. Give them just a little boost. Otherwise, they're on their own with the tubs. That's tens of thousands if you really pencil it. Just in hay savings alone, it would pay for itself. If you were to pencil everything else with it, it's all positive from there on. And it's interesting to see with more results how it can improve your pastures also. Like this year in our feedlot, about 5 acres, I didn't do anything to that pasture after we pulled 80 head of calves out of there for the winter. And you can't find a pile of manure in there. The grass is about 3 foot tall in there. And like these patties that we're sitting around, they're very soft and they'll disintegrate. It starts in the gut, passes on through, absorb all the nutrients, and then goes back to the soil. Placement of those tubs is critical. We don't put any mineral or salt by the water. We put it on the places we want them to go to. So we'll put the salt to the extreme and the tubs in between there. So they walk by the tubs, we get the salt, and it regulates both products that way too. It helps you manage the grass, which manages the soil, and on and on. Soil health, gut health. Do a lot of AIing. We're hitting at least average or above there. Last year I had, out of 200 that we preg checked, I had 5 that were a little late, and I took 5 to the sale out of the whole herd. So that was pretty good in my book. That's 5% overall if you take the late ones out. 10 years ago, 8 to 10% was pretty common across the board. The cycles are 2 cycles or 45 days, but that first cycle, you get a bunch there. You know, the thing I noticed was foot rot disappeared and scours disappeared in our calves. Calving in general, boy, we don't have much issue. This last year, we lost one that was a freak, had both legs folded back. Couldn't get him out. The year before, we were 100% on our heifers. Our old cows, this last year, we had a bad winter and lost some. But other than that, you know, the calving is just good. The scours, we just don't worry about anymore. It's just not an issue. We don't give a shot like a lot of people do. But I don't think we've lost a calf from scours in 7, 8 years. Or a bull of foot rot, you know. The old days, we'd lose 1 bull of foot rot every year. We haven't lost one in almost 10 years now. And that helps manage. When you're taking time to doctor cows, that just takes away from something else. It's just like the theory of fixing a fence compared to gathering cows all the time. Helps you sleep at night, that's worth a whole bunch. And dollar-wise, I'm sure it's thousands. I think we've increased probably 30 pounds. We calve in mid-March. Sell in November, our steers are 600 plus all the time. A couple years ago, I kept calves till late November. Steer calves, and they weighed 702. No creep, we just kicked them on the tubs and fed them grass for that long, and a little bit of cake. 2 pounds of cake a day was it. It all goes to the bottom line. You go to the sale barn with them, and you can tell, it makes you kind of proud when years come in. They do shine. You get a reputation for a healthy herd, and buyers tend to like that. Cost might be a little more, but daily, per tub at daily cost, I could instantly see a 10% savings compared to anybody else because of the consumption rate. But you got to put a pencil to it. Don't let the price of the tub scare you. It's just like anything else that's concentrated. It keeps proving itself. So I'll keep using. Invest in it. Time, a few dollars, improvements, fix your fence, and then we have something to pass on to our children and grandchildren when it's all said and done. And that's the critical part.